but if you're helpful in our investigation, we can talk to the.
That's what I'm finna ask you now. What
the things you help us with?
Yes.
Listen to me.
Can somebody put something in writing for me?
Listen to
Not
me.
in writing, but
Listen to me. The things you can help us with may be the determining factor if you're charged with homicide or not. I'll be glad to get.
I ain't done nothing. But I didn't find out after the fact. But I know.
Listen to me, baby.
And I know that much.
Did you tell him you were down and out on money? That he did it on his own to help you get out of that trouble?
Because I didn't tell him to do nothing.
But did you
we had a conversation, but I didn't tell him to do nothing.
What did you have a conversation about? Let us know why he did this for you. Let us know what you said to him to make him do this.
I didn't know that he would take it that far.
Well, you didn't know, but what did you tell him to make him think of something like that?
On September 13th, 2014, 50-year-old Vietnamese store owner Phong Trong was murdered. The owner of the TM Food Mart in Pensacola, Florida, was viciously robbed and shot multiple times. When witnesses from the store were questioned, they all pointed fingers at 19-year-old Dontonio Thornton, who had been at the store with his mom, 40-year-old Willie Mae. But the truth was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Brace yourself, as these interrogation clips are going to reveal a horrifying story of manipulation with layers of deceit.
So when you guys, left there, you went straight to the Grocery Advantage, or did you go somewhere else first?
We went to Grocery Advantage.
Okay. Why'd you guys go all the way over there? Why'd you guys go all the way over there to the Grocery Advantage?
Cause she like going food stamp shopping now, thinking of meat cheap for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you guys buy there? Just groceries or anything specific?
Just food stamp shopping, groceries. Is it?
How often do you hang out with your mama? Not often, right? I mean, your grandma says that she doesn't barely see her, and her daughter, your sister, says she barely sees her.
She come around there, Blue Moon, food stuff time. When she want to buy some food stuff.
And there was nobody else that was with you guys?
Mm-mm.
What up, man? How are you, son? Oh, man. This Dontonio, is that how I say your name? All right. I know you met Investigator Work, right? All right. I'm Sergeant Barnes. I run this homicide unit up here. All right. So, first off, you may have already answered a couple of questions that she asked. So, if you did, I apologize, just because I got here late or whatever. So, and bring me up to speed here. What all did you tell her about the store and stuff that day?
All I recall me going in there, bounce, leave and go to the grocery store, and back to the house. That's it.
And that was with your mama?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And you how old, son? 19? Mm-hmm. What school would you go to?
I went to a school called AMI for Kids.
Oh, okay. You didn't play no ball or anything like that coming up?
I did, going to Memphis. When I was growing up in Memphis.
Did you play football, baseball, what?
Basketball.
Basketball. Was that your favorite sport? Mm-hmm. And you got a couple cousins that play football, don't you?
All my little cousins play basketball and football.
Now, how is Albert related to you? Just friends, still friend?
Mm-mm. He ain't my friend.
No, he's not your friend?
He ain't got no friend.
You ain't got no friends?
Mm-mm.
You ever been to penitentiary?
Mm-mm.
Never. How many youngins you got, son?
One and one on the way.
One, and how was that?
Oh, he won.
He's one, and this is by
two this year.
And that's by your baby's mama who works up at McDonald's. All right. And you know what you got coming? Boy or girl?
We don't know yet.
I don't know, too early.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other one that's here? That's gonna be 2. That's a boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. You love him, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You spend time with him?
Yeah, every day with him.
Notice how Sergeant Barnes skillfully asks questions, building rapport and putting him at ease. This approach is crucial in making him feel comfortable enough to reveal the truth.
What was the deal? Tell me about this. You going to the store with your mama and stuff.
Ain't no deal.
Ain't no deal?
Mm-mm.
All right. Dontonio, one thing, son, is I've done this job longer than you've been alive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't the first one that sat right there, and you won't be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And you look me in the eye when I tell you this, because I don't play games, son. Starting today, right now,
Mm-hmm.
your life is going to change forever, son.
Mm-hmm.
You understand you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how often would you go to that store?
No.
Not often.
Mm-mm.
But you happened to go that day he was killed.
Just to get some. That's it.
Just to get some.
Yeah.
You go have your family?
Yeah.
You do anything for them?
Yeah.
They do anything for you?
Yeah.
Your mama gonna do jail time for you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not from what your granny told me.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna do jail time for your mama?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a I don't know. It's a yes or a no question, son. Never touching your baby, never touching your old lady ever again.
Then it'll be what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let me show you something, son. You see that right there?
Yeah.
What is that?
A head.
A head?
No.
That's right. You know what that is?
Yeah.
What is that?
But those brains.
That's brains.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what that is. And you know the thing about it is, whether it was this guy that was killed or Dontonio goes and gets killed tonight, we're going to be working just as hard for you as we would for your mama, your sister Shanique, Melvin.
Mm-hmm.
We'd work the same for them. Don't matter who you are, what you are. This man right here had a 2-year-old little boy that come up to the store moments later and couldn't stop crying because his parents had to tell him that his daddy was dead. You feel me?
Yeah.
Along with 6 other children.
He had a total of 6 kids. All right?
That's a lot of kids.
That is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That is a lot of kids. And they got a buckle swab from you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We have DNA
Mm-hmm.
from the store. All right? We didn't roll the dice, son, and pick you out of the earth, out of 3 billion people on this earth to bring you in here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, state attorney's office was out there that day. That's going to be prosecuting the case. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't no secret. You being taped right now. Okay? So you going to sit right here on this tape, and you that person that's that cold-hearted to show no remorse that you don't give to, that if you go to prison or you don't care what happened to this man or you don't care about nothing, because that's what it looks like to me.
What I told you before. We're trying to help you out here. Throw you a bone. If you're not remorseful and throw up your hands like that, like you don't give a shit, that's what it's going to look like in court.
There's a couple things, son, that happen in the court system. One, the difference is if it's premeditated. All right? You know what premeditated is? It means you plan it.
Mm-hmm.
All right? In the state of Florida, that carries a death penalty. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever been to the courthouse or you know anybody that's been sentenced to death, but when they sentence you to death, they tell your family that you can pick the body up at the gates of the prison.
Throughout the first round of the interrogation, Dontonio maintains an unsettlingly cold demeanor. His composure remains unshaken, even as the officers recount the harrowing details of the victim's family. The atmosphere grows unbearably tense when they place a gruesome photograph of the brain in front of him. Yet Dontonio doesn't even flinch. His icy calmness sends chills through the room. But wait, things are about to take a dark and unexpected turn. In this next piece of interrogation footage, Dontonio's own mother steps into the spotlight. She reveals a different story where her son is the antagonist.
I'll cut to the chase with you. All right. Bottom line is, this is my homicide unit, and there's pressure on me to solve these cases.
Mm-hmm.
All right. and we do a pretty damn good job of it. All right. Now I'm gonna ask you a few specific questions. All right. And I want you to think long and hard about being honest, because your answers may affect the rest of your life.
Okay.
All right. Now, obviously, the clerk was killed. We agree with that? We know that by the news or whatever, right?
About all of that.
All right. You frequent that store.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, do you think that we just pulled Willie Mae Thornton out of the sky and list you as a suspect?
No, I'm pretty sure that. I know I've been back and forth in the store, so I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay. All right. But if you just back and forth to the store, why would we assume that you're a suspect? That could be 200 other people.
It said questioning, so I'm pretty sure y'all wanted to talk to anybody that was in that store that day.
Okay. Did your son, Dontonio, did he have a gun that day? I mean, hey, this nut cutting time now.
Be honest.
Because, here, like I said, I don't play games.
I'm not playing games with nobody.
I'm going to put it out there simple with you, son. You see that glove right there?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? All right, you know where those gloves come from?
What about them?
Do you know where they come from?
I'm saying, what about them?
What about them? Well, that glove is left at the homicide scene. Okay?
Okay.
All right. DNA tests have already been done on that. And guess whose DNA it comes back to?
Okay.
It comes back to you.
Okay. I had a pair of them in the trunk before, so I'm just saying, what about them?
What about that? Well, explain to me how 5 feet away from a dead guy with his brains blown out does
all I know is I didn't kill nobody.
Okay. Well, let me tell you the obstacle that you have to overcome. Okay. The obstacle that you have to overcome is that when we sent this to FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, this is science. This ain't we come up with. This is science. All right. So your DNA is already on file because you have a record between Memphis and here. Okay. So the numbers, we get numbers of 1 in 1,000. That's not good numbers because there's like 3 billion people in the world. Well, the numbers of your DNA in this glove are what they call in the quintillions, which outweighs the population in the world, which means that can't be anybody else's DNA except Willie Mae Thornton. Okay? Now, you don't work.
No.
All right? This is an industrial glove. That glove comes from a place where your boyfriend works.
Okay.
Because he has those gloves.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At the house and would be in the trunk.
But he's working. Well, that's can't fly.
Okay.
He can't get up and walk in there.
And I know one for a fact that I didn't take it in there. Okay.
So it's motherly instinct to try to protect. You understand that? And I understand that. But, this man, he had 7 kids. 7 children, just as you have 5 or 4.
I got 4.
4. He had 7. He was on his second marriage, and we're up there, and I got a 2-year-old boy grabbing onto my leg because he has a 2-year-old son. And none of the family speak English because they're Vietnamese. We had to get an interpreter. Nobody has the right to take life but the man up above.
You're right. You are so right about that.
Nobody. Not us, not anybody else.
Nobody.
The obstacle to overcome here is you can't explain why that glove with your DNA is in that store to a jury of your peers and them to bite. I told your son that this don't go away. I said, I'll have your mama in here this week, I promise you.
I was coming in on Monday. I just was going to celebrate my birthday. I was coming in on Monday.
Now, you love your family?
Yeah.
Are you that cold-hearted of a person?
No, I'm not.
Then you break it down for us about how it went down.
Willie was right there with Dontonio when the incident happened. Yet the lies in her denial of everything are almost detectable, hinting at a desperate attempt to avoid the actual truth. The way she plans her responses and meticulously tries to lie about the gloves is just immaculate. A performance of deception that would be impressive if it weren't so chilling.
That's the only way you can try to save yourself.
Because I know I ain't done nothing wrong.
But I'm going to tell you right now,
I know what you're saying, but I know I ain't done nothing wrong.
I'm not here to play games. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay? Because we have done our homework. We know where you went. We have video from the store.
Okay.
You know, at the Grocery Advantage.
Okay.
Or whatever the hell it's called. You know, we know you were in there because you signed Darren's credit card.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, you know, that's just a little of the stuff that we have. And don't make me pull it out of you. Break it down for us. Why and what went wrong at the store that day. Hey, I know it's your flesh and blood and you love him. And you can cry if you want to. That's natural, baby. I know it is. But you know what? From day one, when you're raised, no matter how much you love your mama and daddy, right's right and wrong is wrong.
Right. I told him it was coming back.
All right.
It's a matter of time.
Absolutely. It don't go away. You know,
I get put in the middle of something to tell it.
Hey, and
right now.
And you are damn square in the middle
of it. So.
You're more in the middle of it than anybody else is in the middle of it because your DNA is in there. So you need to start realizing.
Okay, so right at this very moment, I need to know I'm already in trouble. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm.
But you've known that for a while.
Oh, that's my point. Being, I know
you've been violated for over a year.
Violated my probation. Yeah, I know that. So that's my point about that. So I knew that part.
But if you're helpful in our investigation, we could talk to the.
That's what I'm finna ask you now. What
the things you help us with?
Yes.
Listen to me.
Can somebody put something in writing for me?
Listen to me.
Not in writing, but
listen to me. The things you can help us with may be the determining factor if you're charged with homicide or not. I'll be glad to get.
I know I ain't done nothing. But I didn't find out after the fact. But I know.
Listen to me, baby.
And just by I know that much.
Listen to me, baby. All right. Whether you say you were there or were not or whatever, like I said, how to a courtroom do I explain? You know, you watch Forensic Files and all that stuff. You know,
I didn't use
my DNA.
It can be on it, but I know I didn't use this.
My
glove.
DNA ain't nowhere at your house.
I can say how it got in that store, but I know I didn't take it in that store.
My DNA ain't nowhere at your house. You know,
and I had no idea that it went in that store.
So, depending on what we know, and you can verify and quantify.
I had no idea of this.
I'll get the state attorney's office up here.
Okay, do that, because I had no idea. But I can say I know for a fact, because like I said, we ride bikes and these gloves should have been in that truck. This glove should have been in the truck. This glove should have never got out of that truck.
Will you tell us what you know? Not what should have been or
That's what I'm saying. And now I'm in the middle of something.
Yes, you are.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, this right here, what we're doing now, look at me. This is probably the biggest decision of your life you'll ever make. Ever. Not buying a house, not having a baby, not anything. This is the biggest decision of your natural life.
Y'all get the state attorney's office, and I'm willing to talk. To tell you everything.
Well, we gotta hear something before we get them, so that we know
either to
get them over here.
I need to know. I'm saying what I'm saying is if I'm fixing to hang my child for something.
Listen to me,
man. And it's killing me for somebody else. But I hate the fact that somebody put me in the middle of something else. If I go down for something I know I haven't done, I got to tell everything I know.
Willie appears more anxious about distancing herself from the crime than about her son facing prison. With unwavering confidence, she insists on her innocence. But beneath her efforts to clear her name lurk sinister motives. She seems determined to make her own son take the fall.
But then you know what we run into sometimes? When they know they cornered and they caught? Man, that's my mom, man. She did that. That ain't none of me, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
It's more to this than you found the glove.
No, I know there's a lot.
My point being, call somebody
But I'm telling you, this investigation can't implicate you.
It did what?
It can't implicate you. If we call the state attorney's office
it
up
don't
here,
implicate me. It don't implicate me. I'm telling you,
it's implicating you right now because of that.
Because of that.
That's
because
big.
somebody else used that, and I didn't know that. But that don't implicate me. It implicates this, what makes me tell what I know. Because now that somebody's in the middle of it.
How about this? The information that you give us, we're going to be able to verify it as the truth.
You can verify it as the truth.
I'm not saying I can. I'm not saying I can. You're going to be able to.
You can verify it as the truth.
Hang tight, kid.
I'm telling you, I can prove that to you.
Because it's weighing on you. Because I've sat here and watched you with your leg. You ain't stopped shaking your leg since we started. And we talked about that. Don't matter how you raise, you go to school, they even preach it. Difference between right and wrong, because that was somebody's father, that was somebody's son, somebody's uncle, and he's no longer here with us anymore. And nobody has that right to do that. Nobody. And now is your chance, as we talked, because I went and did like you asked. I held my end of the bargain up, did I not? I told you I wasn't going to lie to you. And I wasn't going to bullshit you. But you have to be 100% truthful. Because if you're 100% truthful, there's nothing that nobody can do to say you were truthful and that you helped the police bring this to a close. Because we're going to close it either way. But you have a hard time right now with this glove explaining that. And that's why I want to know. You know, one of the things I like to tell people is that's why we here and we talking, because I want to hear your story. And a lot of times I get to hear that story. There's sometimes I don't. But then I follow that up with, because you don't want us, the police and investigators, telling the story for you in a court of law, do you?
Sergeant Barnes employs a well-known interrogation tactic called the prisoner's dilemma while questioning Willie. This psychological strategy involves pitting suspects against each other, making each believe that the other might confess, thereby incentivizing them to betray their partner to save themselves.
What kind of deals are y'all offering me to help me get you?
There's not going to be any deal today.
Remember what
we don't make deals at this stage or anything. I will tell you this, that if you cooperate and you cooperate with us right now, telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
But we just can't sit here and say, May, listen, hon, if you tell us this, then, you know, because who's going to come in next and say, oh, May pulled the trigger, May did this, May did that.
Say that.
All right. But see, that's what I'm getting at. That's why we got to what you say. We got to verify it, and we back it up with forensic evidence to know it's the truth. And then if we can discount you and know it's true, then you don't have many problems. The only problems you got right this second, you know, is, yeah, you got some DNA you got to explain, and you got to explain this glove. You got the warrants on you, but, you know, that was before any of this ever happened. You know, this goes back to 2010, 12, whatever it was. May, let's break it down tonight. How it got started and why it happened. The plan was a plan just to go rob the man.
Who? What is you talking about?
I'm talking about this death, the murder.
You talking about to go? I ain't set up to rob nobody.
No, we're talking about. He's not talking about you doing.
No, I'm talking about what happened.
Oh, just for saying don't.
I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Do that.
Don't let. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear your story, not mine, because I'm just trying to ask you a question.
Let me ask this question: what do you know? Tell us what you know.
It was just. I went and just don't get my ticket. Looking for the car. He came and said he was going to use the bathroom, not knowing he was coming in.
Who's he? Okay.
Dontonio?
She used the bathroom. So I'm standing there looking for the card.
Outside or inside?
Inside.
In your purse or whatever?
Looking for the card. Standing there talking to him like we talk, like me and the man always be talking to each other. I just seen and heard pow, and he just fell over. I never even seen him coming. I never saw him coming.
How did you get to the store?
In the car.
You were in the car. Was your son in the car with you?
Yes, I never saw him coming.
So basically, you were going up the store, just a normal kind of run of the mill thing.
It was the third time she'd been to the store that
I
day.
go to the store.
No, I mean, you just go to the store. I mean, so your son, he comes with you, and you tell us when you come in the store, what do you normally do?
I get my tickets.
Get your
I sit
ticket.
down and I scratch tickets if I'm gonna stay there during the daytime. I was just standing there looking for the card because I picked up the wrong card. It happened, so would you really know it was gonna happen?
Here's the store. You know, there's the parking lot right here. All right. The front doors of the store. You know, I know what the store looks like. You go in, then, you know, here's where the clerk is and all that. You know, your lottery stuff is over here and all that. The cash register's over here. And then there's a little open window, you know, where you pay and stuff like that. Obviously, people scratch off their little lotto and such because there's a bucket that says right there that people throw the lottery tickets in that ain't winners, right? And then if you were to pass this, you know, the old boy in there, he liked to play the piano or whatever. He had a little piano and a speaker over here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then that room leads into the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
a man and woman's bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, you were somewhere up here at this counter looking for your card or whatever. Had you ordered some lottery tickets?
He had already run up. He was waiting on me to pay for them.
How many were you buying?
It was 3.
3 lottery tickets? Okay. All right. And as he's kind of just standing there waiting for you to find your card or whatever.
What happened after that?
It's just was wow. He just felt like you didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I understand. When your son, did he come in the door? Did you see him come in?
Yeah, I seen him come in. He said he used the bathroom, but I didn't.
Did he say that to you?
He asked the man where the bathroom was.
Okay.
What he asked.
So you asked him, where's the
That
bathroom?
was it.
And you're probably like this at the counter. Did you see him? Did you feel him go past you or see him? Or
I was still there. I wasn't
still there?
paying him no attention.
Mhm.
Really to just
you didn't pay
say.
any attention. And then what happened? You just
It
next
was
bang.
banging.
After you heard the shot.
I was standing there in shock.
Okay. What happened after that?
That was it. He said, oh. I said, what did you just do? What did you just do? What did you just do?
Mhm.
Just like that right there. He just started moving around and panicking. And I'm just still like, I'm like, oh my God.
Willie has confessed to the crime she witnessed, and it seems like only a matter of time before Dontonio too accepts the deeds he's committed. But is this really all? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg?
Now, this is your son. What did he do? When you asked him what happened, what did he say anything like?
Nothing with that. It just happened so
So fast.
Did he come up and have words with him or say, give me your money?
Nothing. That's what is so. That's what doesn't make sense. That's what makes no sense about the whole thing.
All right. And then what happened? What did your son do while he was in there after that behind the counter?
Start just picking up stuff. It was just, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in.
Now, let me ask just before we forget. How did this? What's the deal with the
He had
glove?
to pick it out. He had to bring it out the truck. He had to.
When you say he, you're talking about your son.
All I saw him was with that and a brown bag.
Mm-hmm.
He had a brown bag with that wrapped around with the thing. So that would be why nothing from him would have got on that.
There's a brown bag around this.
Yes.
Around the glove?
Yes.
But he don't have the glove on his
He didn't
hand?
have it on his hand.
Okay.
Had you been using this glove?
Yeah, I
before?
them gloves right. We ride our bike and stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So he comes out of the bathroom with this stuff in his hand?
Then you didn't see that until after the fact is what I'm saying.
Okay. And you didn't know at any time that
I
he
didn't-
had a gun or
did-
tucked to his waistband?
None of this.
Why did he decide to come to the store with you, or
Was getting ready to go to the grocery store. Is what
okay?
I'm
You
saying.
going? Okay.
I stopped to get my tickets.
Okay. So he was going to go with you to the grocery
We was going to
store,
the grocery store. I
and then
stopped to
this
get
was just a check, a stop to
It
go.
was just
get
it
your
was just a
lottery
stop.
tickets.
It was just a quick stop, like I had been going on, just a stop.
Okay.
So I'm guessing between the first time he was there, I don't know what he thought or put in the mind of that.
Like he had been in the store
Yeah,
earlier that
yes.
day? Will you?
Yes.
But now you'd gone, you said 3 times. Did he come all three
No,
times?
just them two, the last two.
Okay. Now, did he frequent that store on a regular basis?
I don't know that. I can't answer that. That's something I can't answer you with that.
Okay.
I know that store don't get enough business for that.
Sure.
That much I know that.
I'm going to jump forward just a minute while it's fresh on my mind, and I apologize. But, all right, you went to the store at the Grocery Advantage and bought a bunch of groceries. Did he, after this happened, did he continue on to the store with you and buy groceries?
He went to the store and he told me I had to not to have to say nothing. I had to go on with my day like nothing had happened. And the whole time I'm in the panic mode.
Okay.
So at this point in time, he got 2 guns.
In the car?
Yeah.
So out of nowhere this happens. Y'all leave, go through that. When y'all leave and pull out, which way do you start going, or where do you start going?
Go to the right, down Michigan.
Okay, to where?
To the store. That's what my point. I could think of none of. I got to have somebody see me. I can't be a part of this.
What else did he take from behind there? That was electronic.
Just film.
Okay. Now, this is very, very important. Very, very important. Where are the guns?
Now that's what I don't. This is what I don't know.
Now, you were in the car with him.
No, he went after that. Took him. He left with there. I don't know after that. I didn't want no part of that. I don't want to know what you did with it because after I'm already in it. So if I find out anything else, this makes me more.
Help me understand this, because you tell me, y'all leave the store, start heading down Michigan, and you say he's got 2 guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously, you know he's got this piece of equipment with him also. All right. And you say y'all go to the store.
All I had to, back then I was in so panic mode, I didn't know how to function. All my thing was, I got to make sure that I'm not in this. I got to get
what was that gap for?
What did he do? What did he do? What do you remember him doing with the gun that you can recall? Where did he go?
He kept he got out. He had both.
Okay, where did he get out?
The same guy picked him up from his mother-in-law house.
This was after shopping?
This is after shopping.
So the DVR or whatever, the electronic
was
equipment
in the bag,
trunk.
sitting in there. And I'm sitting here in the panic. I don't know what to do.
And then you took him back over there in Bellevue.
You got to get the hell. You got to get away from me. And I don't want no parts of this.
Okay.
So what happened to the recording machine?
I don't know.
Okay. Did he take it with him?
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, he took it with him. And he's got the guns, I guess, tucked. Where are the guns? On him?
I know the black one, then the other one, I guess he got that from him.
What color was
it's
that one?
White or silver or something like that.
Okay.
You're soon going to see how a mother can use her own son as a pawn.
So we talked the other day, correct? And you didn't talk about much about what you did that day. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell us today that you didn't tell us the other day? Did you remember anything that you might not have said to us or told us?
I told y'all everything I knew for the first time. That's it.
Okay, you know, we talked to your mama today.
Yeah.
You still don't have anything new to tell us?
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that?
No, I recognize no clue.
No?
Mm-mm.
Your mama recognized it.
I don't recognize it.
Guess whose DNA, isn't it?
Who?
Take a wild guess.
No, I'm not.
You sure about that?
Positive.
You know where that glove was found?
No.
About 5 feet from the body of the clerk at that store. Now's your chance. You have a chance to tell me what went down?
No.
You were identified as being in the store.
I mean,
5 minutes
that ain't
before he
my
was
blood.
killed. You could help yourself. You could, like I said before, be perceived as a cold-blooded murderer that doesn't give a crap.
Like I said, I ain't had no blood.
Your mama said you did. Your mama threw you under the bus like I told you she would.
Mm-mm.
No? Was it her plan?
I ain't have nothing to do with it. I ain't know nothing about it. I told you what I did all that day. And that's it.
We got video from the Grocery Advantage also.
All right.
Got video from the Waffle House where you were not at.
Who?
You. All right. Have a seat. You're going to be arrested right now.
Have a warrant for your arrest for murder, 1st degree, and robbery with a firearm.
And you don't have nothing else to say.
Nothing else, because I know I'm not the one. I don't know what y'all talking
Well, we know you are.
about. All right. If you say I am, then I know I'm not.
You're being charged with murder and robbery,
All right.
and you have no bond.
Dontonio's reaction to the arrest is nothing short of shocking. He continues to deny the charges, but not for long.
But once again, here we are. We only got one story. One. And it's pointing at you and it's saying it's not an accident. Saying it's an intentional act.
I don't know what you're talking about. They said they got video, so they would have seen me do it if I did it. And what my mom tell you.
What do you think she told us?
Mm-hmm.
You in handcuffs, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you going to jail tonight. And we told you what you're being charged with.
Mm-hmm.
Premeditated 1st degree murder.
What's premeditated mean?
Means you planned it.
Um,
Means it's an intentional act. That what you did, you meant to do. There ain't no accident. It's not some robbery that just went way the south. It means that the cards that are laying on the ground are exactly the cards you wanted to be laying on the ground. I look at it, I see it in your eyes, man. You didn't want that. You didn't. You ain't cold-blooded. Are you?
mm-hmm.
I think you're scared, though,
Go what?
of this situation.
Why?
Why wouldn't you be? It's perfectly normal. I would be.
Why?
If I was sitting in your chair right now facing murder, I'd be pretty scared. I'm not saying you're a scared person. I'm just saying you're scared of the situation.
Why? Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know. It's the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen to you after you leave this room tonight. You don't know where it's going to go. You're sitting here hoping that by you just saying, I don't know nothing about nothing, is it going to work for you? That's what you're hoping on. But at the end of the day, you don't know. I don't know. But I can look at you. I can tell you didn't mean for that boy to die. You didn't. Your mom didn't. But it is what it is. And I'm telling you, in my 15 years, buddy, the dice that you're trying to roll ain't going to work. It's not going to work for you. And that's why I mean, you're scared. You're scared of the unknown. I don't think you're fear of any man in this world. That's not what I mean. I'm not saying that you're a weak person. But this situation's up. Can you agree?
Yeah, it is.
Really up.
Yeah, it is.
But we are where we are, and it is what it is. And you can only pick 2 paths from here on out. And those are the ones that I told you. People either sit in that chair and they say, I don't know nothing about nothing about nothing. I'm just going to see where those dice land. Or they tell the truth and say, I f***ed up. I didn't want for this to happen. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was down on my luck, needed some cash, whatever. But I'm not a killer. And hope for some leniency based off your honesty. There's only two options you got. I don't think you're a killer. I think you made a mistake. How can we overcome this mistake?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. Nothing's going to bring the guy back, right?
Yeah.
But an effort's got to be made for the guy's kids. I'm not lying. I'm not. The dude's got 6 kids. 6 kids, and one's a newborn. An effort's got to be made for them to know that, you know, their daddy just didn't die for a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
That it was an accident. That his life wasn't worth a couple $100. That it's just an accident. It's a big accident, but it wasn't intentional, in that 2 people didn't put $200 above somebody's life. A sorry would start. An apology would start. A show of remorse. Something to indicate that his life wasn't worth a couple $100.
The cop decides to apply psychological pressure, telling Dontonio that his mother has already revealed everything and that he needs to speak up to protect himself. To further appeal to his conscience, the cop brings up the victim's family, emphasizing how the victim's wife and kids deserve an apology. The mention of the innocent children and the grieving widow adds an emotional weight to the interrogation, making it clear that this tragedy has torn apart a family and left a void that can never be filled.
I can't say enough, you ain't a killer. But you f***ed up. How are we gonna fix it? How are we gonna try?
Why y'all say my mama point the finger at me?
What's that?
I said, why y'all say my mama point the finger at me?
I'm not saying she pointed the finger at you.
What you said?
She pointed the finger at you. I'm not just talking. It ain't just words. She pointed the finger at you. That's why you're sitting where you're sitting. That's why you're under arrest. That's why you're in handcuffs. That's why when you leave this room, you're going across the street to county. That's why you don't have a bond.
Mm-hmm.
She pointed the finger solely on you.
My plan and everything?
You're an out. You're the out. Save your own time when she was in here.
Hmm?
I said it was save your own time when she was sitting in here. Depends on you.
Why you say that?
If you sit here and you stick with, I don't know nothing about nothing, she gonna win. Cause you ain't gonna win with that. It's just 2 options from here on out. I told you. It's either I don't know nothing about nothing and see where that gets me. Or the truth, and let's pray for some leniency and forgiveness.
I said, I can't believe it though.
Which part?
So my mama blaming it on me.
You know, I deal with a lot of guys a lot. I handle guns and gangs. And these boys around here, you know, they claim to be in gangs and stuff, and the number one thing that I see tattooed on them or something like that is stop snitching, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually that main one that's going around and calling everybody green and a snitch. That's the snitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no code. Everybody says there is. Everybody says You know, the police, we ain't gonna talk to them. You know, I don't talk to the police. But man, I've had some of the biggest dealers,
I know that.
some of the main folks on the street that everybody looks up to
Really talking.
as my snitch.
Yeah.
The main ones that say stop snitching are the snitch. I mean, you see it.
Yeah.
Now, for the mom to come in here, few and far between. But I understand why she did that.
What she do?
Save her own.
Why you say that?
She don't want to go down for murder.
So what she was charged with?
Just her warrants. My son did this. He planned that. I didn't know the he was doing. He had the glove. Go.
And she said she was there with me.
She says she was there to simply buy lottery tickets. I believe you. I believe there's more to that.
What you doing? And what she said I did?
She said you run in and tried to rob that man and shot him in his head.
She told you I had gloves.
I don't know. I don't know anything about no DNA.
Me either. If they got video, they'll see.
Tell me something that contradicts what your mom's saying.
Mm-hmm.
You do know.
Is she out witnessing like that? Mm-hmm. Nothing about that. They ain't got me like that, man. None of that.
She is a witness.
All right.
She's not a suspect.
Who's as a witness then? I don't know nothing about that.
Well, what do you know about?
None. I know I bought me some that day when everybody was in the store myself and went to groceries and back to the house.
I'm just here to tell you that you got two options. And the one you're choosing is the wrong one.
They can't stick me with no murder I ain't do.
Okay.
They can use my own mama as a witness. They can't stick me with no murder.
Are you willing to take that chance?
His expression is one of deep disappointment. Even after learning that his mother has revealed everything, potentially putting him in danger, he remains silent, but not for long. Watch as upon seeing his warrant, he finally unveils the actual truth.
She said you shot that guy.
Can't be.
That's what I'm telling you. I ain't got no reason to you.
What a warrant for my arrest. They ain't even show me no warrant.
We don't have to show you a warrant. You'll see it whenever you get processed in the jail. But if you want to see the warrant, and that makes you feel better that I'm not you,
I don't want to see it.
I imagine this is the warrant coming in the door right here.
Dontonio Diaz Thornton, homicide, murder, while engaged certain felony offense, robbery with a firearm, no bond, signed by the judge today.
You believe me now?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else?
She did that to save her own son.
Yes, sir. But I can tell you that if you let her be the only witness in this case, you're going to lose.
I know.
You are sorry
I'm sorry.
for what happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry for what happened. I am. I'm sorry for what happened. It was my intentions to. It was my plan.
I know it wasn't. You just hard up for cash? Down on your luck?
I was told to do it. She was down on her luck. She came and picked me up.
She said, this is what we're going to do.
I ain't know she first came and bought the food stamps from her. She pulled up. I got in the truck. We were riding. And then she started riding up Michigan. She had the gun and the gloves in her purse, but I ain't put on no gloves, though.
She already had the gun.
She had the gun and the gloves.
See, she said that was your gun.
She had the gun and the glove.
You know where she got the gun from?
I just know it was an all-black gun. I don't even remember what type.
Big gun, little gun?
Big.
Like
Big gun.
Like a 45 or a 40?
Yeah.
45?
Mm-hmm.
She says,
She came and got me. she was like, she up, she need to get Mr. Terry money back.
Mr. Terry
Yeah. Her boyfriend, she went to casino and lost his money.
lost his money.
Yeah. She came to me, we were riding. She was like, she need to get her money back. And I was just like, what you mean? And when she showed me the gun, she was like, she was been planning on it this morning. Then I was like, you really want to do it? And then with my mom, I was just feeling like, But she told me, pulled up at the stuff, she was just like, put it in your pants, go in the bathroom, and I did what she said to do.
She said to shoot him?
Mm-hmm.
She said kill him?
Yeah.
Wow.
She said it was either his life or her life.
So she just said go in, just kill the guy. It's either y'all or him.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? She know he carried a gun?
She said he got a gun behind the counter. She's like, she know he got a gun.
What happened to his gun? She grabbed it or you did? Because I know he reached for it.
I took his gun.
What about the video equipment? You took the DVRs, but there's one camera that stands alone. And it's an independent camera. It doesn't go to that DVR equipment. Y'all throw it in the dump? Garbage? The woods?
Yeah, no video camera.
A mother orchestrating an entire murder and then pinning the blame on her own son. Can a mother really be this heartless? Could a parent's love turn so menacing? Wait until you see how she acts when the investigators interrogate her further. The performance of a grieving mother or the calculated moves of a master manipulator? You decide.
He gave us a story.
Okay.
And he said that, he did shoot the clerk. He pretty much told us his whole role in the robbery. But he also gave us a little bit about what you might have done in the robbery.
Okay, I don't know
Or
what that could have been.
the planning of, like, do you owe money to Terry that you had to get some money back to him? Because we talked to Terry too. Was there-
I don't owe no money to Terry.
You weren't, using his money for other stuff and had to get the money back in his account before he found out?
No. I had permission to use that account, so no.
Okay. But permission to use it and expend all his money so he didn't have money to pay bills?
See, the bills was paid. So I told you that on the first day, the bills and everything was paid.
Okay.
I paid bills first before I did anything.
Your son, here's what your son's telling us. Now, you told him that you need to get money because you need to pay Terry back. You owe Terry money.
You been gambling any time recently?
I play tickets every weekend. That's it. I don't go to casino. I just scratch lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets?
That's it.
We talked about that before, how
Yeah,
you might
I
be
don't
like
know.
a little bit addicted to that.
But not to the point that I pay my bills first, and that's that on that.
Mm-hmm.
He could tell you, talk to Terry, Terry tell you that. I pay my bills.
And what about telling your son that, the guy has a gun in the store? Letting him know there was a gun in the store?
I've never seen a gun in that store.
But you do frequent it like 3 times a day?
I've never been behind the counter nowhere. You can't even say you could see a gun behind the store. I've never seen that man with a gun. That man never had a gun on his side, in his hand, or nothing. The man was always sitting at the piano when you come in.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see behind the counter.
But I'm sure word of mouth, people know he has
But
a gun back there.
nobody could say they ever told me that. I've never heard nobody say the man had a gun.
Your son had said that you had told him you're going to have to shoot that man because he has a gun.
No.
And it's either him or us.
I'm not falling for that. No, ma'am. I'm not saying what you ain't. I ain't falling for that.
But, you're believing that I'm telling you this is what he told me.
Same thing y'all said, he didn't give a care on Friday until he heard I was talking. I'm not falling for that. I didn't shoot nobody.
No, he admitted to
And
shooting.
I didn't shoot nobody.
He admitted, like I said, he admitted to shooting.
I told you that shot that man, and I did not know. All I saw was that man fall over. No, I'm not going for that.
But you also
It's
took
killing
him
me
away
after
from the
it.
scene,
I did do
knowing
that's
that
my part. That's my part. I did do that. I accept that.
he
I
had
told
just
you
done
that.
Yeah.
I told you that. I accept that part. I did that. I didn't know what else to do at that moment. I did that.
What about the next a week, 2
Now,
weeks?
I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I'm already in trouble. It's more trouble. Then I still got to say, I saw you shoot somebody. This is a lie.
We want to know what happened to the bag,
I don't know.
to the video surveillance, because you know where it's at. The guns, you know where it's at.
Willie Mae.
You telling me, you trying to make me tell you
Willie Mae.
something.
Willie Mae.
I done talked to these people. I done gave. I was
Willie Mae.
willing to do everything on
Hey.
this part.
I need you. Hold on. Calm down. Take a breath. We sat there and we talked to your son for a while the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched him cry his eyes out. And one of the biggest things that he cried about, he was sorry because of what happened. He's sorry that he killed that guy. But I think what hurt him the most is that he says he did it for you. Hold on, listen to me. That he did it for you, and that you didn't try to protect him at the end of the day.
How can
That
I
you
protect
just
them at the end of the day?
and that you just, in his words, that you just sold him out.
I didn't.
Now he says you showed up, you picked him up. Is that correct?
Yeah, we went to the ready to go to the grocery store.
Where'd you pick him up at?
At his mother-in-law house, at his girlfriend mama house.
Which is?
I don't know the name. That's what I tell him. I just know how to get there.
Is it off of like Bellevue?
It's off of Pine Forest.
Pine Forest Road? Like, is it Simpson?
I'm serious. I don't know. I just know how to get there.
Okay, and you were driving what?
The terrorist truck
Okay, Terry's truck. And you picked him up for what?
to go to the grocery store.
Okay. And then what made y'all go to the convenience store? And I don't have the whole story. I've never talked to you before, and I just got.
It's because he had to go get the food stamp card, and I had done left my phone on my other son's car. Went back around. If he got the food stamp, went back around to the
Whose
house.
food stamp card did he go get?
He went to go get Kira's food stamp card, but he picked up some other girl that had stamped them food stamp card. Like I told you, we got to the
What
store.
name was that?
I don't know what was on the card. He was swiping the card with the PIN number, and the card didn't take. I don't know who card it was. I
Okay,
told
so
you
what
that
did
part.
what'd you pay with?
I paid with my other son. I told you my other son had gave me his card. I paid the money off that, and then Dontonio paid the other money
With the other
with
card?
with the cash.
What cash? Because you told us 2 cards.
That's
first.
right. And only
So
one
now
card. It was still only one. I told you the other card didn't work, and he paid for the rest of it in cash.
Because we have the receipt.
And I said, and he paid for.
Yes,
I had
cash.
$50 in
Where did
food
he get
stamp
this
and
cash?
That's what. You gonna ask me where did he
Because
get
I have
the
it
cash?
all on video.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have me
Okay.
paying for nothing with cash.
You didn't pull out the cash?
I didn't pull out the cash. Now you look okay. You didn't see me pull it. Tonio pulled out the cash. You didn't see me
But
pull out no cash.
initially, you told us you used 2 cards.
No, initially, the same thing I told you is we took 2 cards to the store and one card did not work. And I say paid for the food stamps with one card and he paid the rest in cash. I told you that on Friday. That story has not changed.
Well, you did say 2 cards.
There's 2 cards still involved.
Mm-hmm. But you never
One did
mentioned.
not work.
Okay, we're going to say it's cash now.
I paid for $50 worth of food stamp with Melvin's card. Y'all asked me about Melvin.
Okay.
And I told you about the first card. He swiped it. It didn't work.
Melvin
He had to pay.
Gordon?
That's right.
Okay.
First card didn't work. So I took Melvin's card, took the 50 off of that, and he paid for the rest of the he said, I got you. He paid for the rest of the groceries in cash.
Notice how Willie doesn't even bother to ask about her son. Her sole focus is on proving her own innocence, even after hearing that her son is going to jail.
Okay, and where do we go straight from there?
Dropped him off. And he got the stuff, got out, and I went home. Went home, put my groceries up, and I had to think I was
After
at
the
home by
shooting?
myself. Yeah.
No,
grocery store.
Okay, so from the shooting, you go straight to the
We went to the grocery store to try to put me somewhere else.
And then y'all did some shopping.
That was it. That was it. He paid.
Y'all just talk about anything?
I had nothing to talk about.
Where at that point, you say you went straight from the store to the grocery store, right? Where at that point, where are the 2 guns, the bank bag,
He's still in the car.
and the DVR?
It was still in the car.
Still in the car. Okay. How long do you think you spent in the grocery store?
I don't know. I went in there alone because I was see if you got the camera, you seen me speed through, so I was not in there alone.
But you got about $300 worth of groceries.
It was what it was, yeah.
I mean, so that takes you, probably take you at least an hour to grab
No,
all that
I went in there store no hour. I can bet you that.
It was 13 minutes.
I can tell you, I told you.
13 minutes for 300 something
told you, I
dollars
went in no
groceries.
store early. I didn't give a damn.
I told you I watched the
Told
video.
you, I'm thanking you.
Shopping, didn't
I had 2 food stamp cards what I supposed to have, so I knew what I wanted, and I got the hell up out of there.
Okay.
So I know I went in. I told her I
So
know I went in no store no hour.
Part 50 was on the food stamp
Yeah, because the other card didn't work, so
the rest
I
was
was there. I had to
cash.
put the groceries back. He said, "No, I got them."
The rest was cash.
Because it was too many groceries, like really have to put back, so he came out with cash.
Okay.
He pulled it out of his
Thank you.
pocket.
Whatever he came off of him, you got it on camera.
Pajama pants
I
pocket.
didn't put it out.
Where did you go from Grocery Advantage?
Dropped him off
On
the back where the same way I picked him up
at his girlfriend's house.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where did you go straight from there?
back to the house.
You didn't stop anywhere?
No, I went to the house.
Nowhere else.
I went to the house.
Okay.
You didn't go to the Family Dollar after that?
That was after I went home. That was later.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
Later. Nothing else. Later on that day.
Okay. So in between dropping.
That was before I even picked. That was right before I
Which
picked
Family
Terry up.
Dollar?
That was right before I picked Terry up. That was on W Street. That's right before I picked up W Street.
W Street? Okay.
So from dropping off Dontonio, you went straight back to Terry's house. Didn't talk to nobody?
No, I had to think, get myself together. I didn't know which
Didn't
way to
call
go from
nobody?
there. Call who?
I'm just asking.
No.
You sure?
Who I supposed to call?
I don't know. You tell me.
No.
You tell me who you called.
I didn't call nobody. I don't know about that. I don't know. I talked to people on the phone, but I didn't call nobody as far as you talking about is anything else.
I'm just asking.
I don't remember all this.
Who did you
I talked
call?
to a lot of people that day.
Who? Because see, here's the thing. Other people, since they've heard that basically you're trying to make Dontonio ride this bus by himself.
I'm not trying to make him ride the bus. I got a part because I helped him after the fact.
Okay.
I'm not riding the bus. That's what. So I cannot ride the free pass.
Willie Mae, you got to listen to me there. Come down to me. Come down. Since people have heard that Dontonio is basically riding this murder charge by himself, that by his own words was a pre-planned event. Hold on, you got to listen to me. I'm laying it out for you. Other people have come forward and said, you know what, that's not right. It sucks that they got caught because we love them, but it's not right that he's riding that bus by himself.
Is he riding by himself?
Other people knew about this event, and now they're starting to talk because they don't want Dontonio to go down by himself.
I'm not going. He can't go down by himself because I still helped him after the fact.
Okay.
I'm still involved no matter where you put it at.
Here's the main thing is that you run the risk without telling the whole truth here that he could possibly face a death sentence because by his own admission, it was a pre-planned event, a pre-planned murder.
You can help him in this situation.
And he says the only reason he pulled the trigger and participated was for you. Was for you. His own mom. And that broke his heart more than anything to hear what his own mom had to say about him.
There is a stark contrast between mother and son. Dontonio, despite his predicament, has done everything to protect his mother, shielding her from the police until the very end. Yet Willie Mae Thornton's actions reveal a chilling indifference. While her son has remained loyal to her, she's made no effort to come forward with the truth to save his life, casting a dark shadow over her true nature.
Do you really want him to face that death penalty, go to death,
I
knowing
don't
that
want him
his
going to no
mom,
death penalty.
knowing that his mom threw him under the bus like that?
Throw him under the bus.
Threw him to the
I didn't
sharks?
pull no trigger.
We know you didn't. He admitted to pulling the trigger. He admitted to everything. Willie Mae, he told us everything.
You gave him life. Give him life again. Help him. Tell the truth. Help him. He needs your help.
It is what it is at this point. I mean, we are where we are. It is what it is. At the end of our conversation, I gave him the opportunity to say something to that family. To let that family know that that man's life wasn't worth a couple $100. He wanted that opportunity. I gave him a notepad, and that's what he wrote. Save this man.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the chance of getting some parole instead of that chair. He is your baby.
He is my baby.
Don't let him
Then save him.
die. Don't let him die knowing that you let him take this all by himself.
He's not taking this by himself.
He is.
He is all
Willie
by
Mae.
himself.
Willie
all
Mae,
by
look at
himself.
me.
How he taking it all by himself?
Willie Mae, look at me, dear. He's going to ride this by himself.
Mhm.
What you are looking at ain't nothing compared to what that young boy, he is 19 years old.
Mhm.
19 years old.
He's got a
You will
baby
be-
on the way.
I know everything. Y'all
You'll
tell me
probably
something that I
be
know everything.
out of jail. You'll probably be out of jail. And he'll sit there and you know what he's facing. He's going to ride it by himself. At least heal his heart. I mean, we'll bring him over here right now. Same room with you. Put his heart back together before he goes away.
He's hurting.
Knowing that that's the last thing.
Everybody's hurting. Everybody's
Mhm.
everybody's
But you
hurting.
can heal him.
Well, man, you're going to get out of jail one day. He won't. He's going to die in there.
He needs to know his mama cares enough.
He cried with that little boy in his arms,
I know.
telling his girlfriend that my mama sold me out. His words, not mine.
I didn't sell him out.
That's what he says. That's what he thinks. That's what he feels.
And with the story he gave us is that it was for you.
He said you needed some money to
I
pay
didn't
back
make
to
Tonio do nothing. I didn't make him do nothing.
You didn't
What
twist
did
his arm.
you what
but
did
you're
you
his
ask
mom.
him to do?
I
What
didn't
did
make
you
him. I
ask?
didn't ask nothing. It was a conversation. I didn't ask nothing. I didn't ask nothing.
Did you tell him you were down and out on money? That he did it on his own to help you get out of that trouble?
That's why I didn't tell him to do nothing.
But did you
we
tell
had
him
a
you had-
conversation, but I didn't tell him to do nothing.
What'd you have a conversation about? Let us know why he did this for you. Let us know what you said to him to make him do this.
I didn't know that he would take it that far.
Well, you didn't know, but what did you tell him to make him think of something like that?
He said he was broke. I said, well, mama broke too. I said, I lost all my money playing lottery tickets. Just plain and simple as that. I said, well, I don't know what I'm going to tell Terry for the rest of the week because I don't have no extra money. When I'm out of money, he don't give me extra money.
Mhm.
That's how the conversation went. I didn't know.
Oh, how did it lead up to this?
You know where he got that gun from? He said he got it from your house. Help your boy. That's all it is now. I mean, because we have enough to put you both away. We just want to know that he...
I didn't know he was going to do that.
Did he say he was just going to go rob him?
I didn't know he was going to do that.
But you didn't know he was going to shoot him.
Did he shoot him because he saw the guy going for his gun?
I don't know about that part. I couldn't see back behind where I was standing. I
but
never knew it was a gun in the store or everything I love.
did he
I don't
let
know
you-
if he seen the gun when he went there and he just panicked. I don't know. All I know, it was a gun on the counter just laying in front of the man. So the man don't have a chance to even reach for the gun. That much I do know.
Okay.
But I don't know if he saw it first
Mhm.
and knew it changed. I don't, that's
Saw
what-
the gun
yeah,
and
and
panicked.
panic.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So it was just supposed to be a straight up
He
robbery,
was
not
just, he was supposed
not
to
a
just,
murder.
that was it.
So y'all didn't plan to kill
We
him.
don't plan to kill nobody.
Just supposed to be a couple $100 and
That's
get
why
out.
he didn't play when he killed when that shot. Everything changed. He wasn't supposed to kill nobody. I don't know.
Did you tell him to go in the bathroom?
At this point, it seems like the detectives care more about Dontonio than his own mother does. Despite her son's dire situation, she continues to try to manipulate the case with her tears.
Did you guys talk about how you were going to do it? Like, if you were going to distract him a little bit?
No, he just said, he said, just go in the store and buy your tickets. He said, I got the rest. I said, what are you finna do, Tonjo? He said, I just buy your tickets like you was gonna do. I got the rest of it. He came and said he needed to use a bathroom. So I just thought he's gonna come behind and just say, and that
Give
was
him the money
it.
and that's it.
What kind of? What kind of tickets did you ask for?
I asked for the regular $1 ticket. I asked for my 3 tickets, like I said.
The $1, three
Scratch
tickets
off.
for $1. Okay, and that's when he came around the side and asked.
Yeah, I had already got my tickets. I was like getting ready to turn away.
You already had your tickets?
Yeah, the man did the ticket. I was still at the purse, doing that, give it a turn, but he had already pulled them off and put them on the counter because I buy tickets all the time.
So he might have had them in his hand or
He
something,
already-
and you hadn't gotten them yet. Okay. What about, afterward? I know you had said that the bank bag, the gun, the video machine, and the keys, correct? Who did what? Who grabbed what? Because it had to have been quick. It had to have been so fast because you had to get out of there. I know he didn't do it all.
I was running around I was just running through the store. He's like, calm down, help me find the tape.
Okay, so you went over to the tape machine.
Went over to, he said, I found it. And he went to trying to take it. He had a brown bag in his hand. He was trying to take the thing off. He got the first box off. When he got the first box off, he passed me the first box and we was looking, and there happened to be another box under the counter that you couldn't take it off, so you had to cut it off.
Who cut it?
I cut it off.
You cut it off. Who grabbed the bank bag?
He got the...
He said he grabbed the guy's gun. You grabbed the bank bag.
If the gun was laying by the bag, I didn't touch the gun.
He said he
It was a bag. It was a bag right there.
Yes,
I didn't look in the bag, grab the bag. Tony, the one that opened the bag up and saw what was in the bag once it was in the truck.
What was
Right.
that?
It was money in the bag, but he
You don't
counted
know
the
how
money.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the DVR equipment in the bank bag?
Where's that at?
What'd you do with that?
Tonio did get rid of that. I don't know that part.
He said
He did get rid of it.
that you kept that video.
I don't.
You throw it in the trash?
I don't have the video. I don't have no tape. I did not a gun. I don't.
Where'd you
machine.
ditch it?
I don't have that.
Where'd you throw it?
I don't have no
No,
tape.
where did you ditch
I
it?
didn't ditch no tape. Now that's on everything. I didn't ditch a tape.
When you dropped him off at his girlfriend's house, he
I
did
had
not
to-
take it out of the truck.
I didn't ditch no tape.
What about the bank bag? You threw it away?
Tonio got rid of all of that.
So he took it with him when
He
he
got
got out of the truck.
Tonio got rid of all that. I dropped Tonio off and picked Tonio back up. Tonio got rid of all of that.
Okay, you dropped him off.
I dropped Tonio off. Tonio got rid of all of it.
Hold on, slow down. Because you're skipping.
No,
You're
I'm not
in-
skipping. I'm not skipping. I'm telling you, Tonio got rid of that stuff before he ever got home. I don't know where he got rid of it at. I was just supposed
So
to drop
you-
him
Where
off,
he
come
ever
back
got
and pick him
home.
So
up.
you made a stop between the grocery store and home. Where'd you make a stop?
I just dropped him off, over by the grocery advantage. He got out.
Right
And I
there
was
by-
going to come back around and pick him up. And come back around, pick him up, took him home.
So he dumped it over behind the grocery store.
I don't know where about he dumped, but I don't.
When he went out the store,
I know I was
to
to pull off. He didn't. That was it. I just pulled off to stay away for a few minutes.
Where did he walk?
Listen to me, please.
I mean, I can see it on the video.
Listen.
It has the outside cameras.
Okay.
So did he get back in the
He
car?
got in the truck. That's what I'm telling you. I pulled up the street. He got out. I was to leave and
What
come
street?
back. Down the street.
Which way did you drive? Look, here's the map. Did you drive on Lillian, New Warrington, or Mobile Highway?
Oh, I forgot. I really don't forget which way. Seriously.
Willie's story isn't adding up, and the investigators are fully aware of it. Her manipulation isn't working as she thought it would. The facade is crumbling, and the truth is inching closer to the surface. Willie's addiction to gambling had drained all her money and left her in debt. Desperate, she thought she could use her son to rob the store, not realizing how disastrously wrong things would go. When she sensed that trouble was closing in and the timing was right, she placed all the blame on her son. Now, in the next clip, we'll show you what Dontonio's girlfriend, Wankaria Suggs, and her mom have to say about Willie Mae. This will provide deeper insight into her true character.
Your mama even said, she goes, I went to school with her and she was nasty in
Oh,
school.
yeah, that's
You
what.
know?
That's the thing. Mom, she been told me way before I went to school with her. She ain't nothing, you know. But I haven't. Honestly, we don't even. Before I had my baby, the day that I had my baby, I saw her in Walmart. We walked right past each other. She wasn't in the hospital. I mean, the reason we speaking to each other because I go around this grandma's house and she'll come and she'll be there and she'll talk with the baby, however.
So she wouldn't care otherwise. If he never went around, she wouldn't even care.
She won't care.
Dontonio's girlfriend, Wankiria, reveals how Willie never cared to see her grandson when he was born, not even visiting him in the hospital. This confirms Willie's lack of concern for Dontonio and his family. But what Wankiria's mother, Nakia Dixon, says exposes an even more selfish side of Willie.
What do you know about Mae?
She's a nasty person. I don't deal with her whatsoever. I seen her that day. That was my first time seeing her in a long time. I know every now and then she'll call or something like that, but I don't fool with her whatsoever.
How come?
Because I don't like her. I went to school with her, and we didn't get along in school. She was a bullet type person, so I never got along with her. And I was really mad when I found out that was his mama, because my child was having a baby by somebody I don't even get along with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do her at all. Last time I really was around her was at my grandson's birthday party. So
when was that?
It was at Chuck E. Cheese in December.
Okay. Gotcha. And, I mean, just because of how she acted in school and stuff, that's why you don't care for her?
No, she's a nasty person. She got a nasty attitude. She talks to you any kind of way. She don't care about nothing and nobody. You know, she got a younger son that, you know, her people basically raising. You know, she on drugs, all of that. So I don't do her.
What kind of dope she using?
I still do the store. I used to stand by the store when I go to Savannah. So I don't think it's. I think she probably don't. I don't think it's.
I don't know about eating some pills, anything like that?
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. All right.
And she loud.
Just obnoxious, huh?
Just nasty.
And don't have anything to do with the youngins?
No, not really. No. Not unless she call him asking her for something.
Kind of like she did with him, huh? Want to borrow the old food stamp card, huh?
Yeah, he let her eat. He let her get something to eat and told her to bring it back, and she brought it back, I guess. I don't know. I don't see the thing.
Gotcha. I mean, you think she's capable of being involved in a crime like this?
She capable of anything, knowing her, because she heartless, you know? She heartless. She don't care.
Nakia Dixon, who attended school with Willie, confirms Willie's disregard for her own children, which has been evident in the previous interrogation clips. A mother addicted to gambling, she didn't hesitate to exploit her son for money, and later used him as a scapegoat. In August 2015, the jury found Willie Mae guilty of first-degree murder. A year later, in August 2016, Dontonio was found guilty of the same charge. Despite being manipulated by his mother, Dontonio was deemed equally responsible for the crime. Both mother and son were charged for first-degree murder and were sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole. The case of Fong Trong is a tragic reminder of how a perfectly normal, everyday life can be derailed by unforeseen incidents. During the trial, Fong's children and wife were present. His eldest daughter, Deanne Trong, expressed sympathy for Dontonio, but emphasized that he ultimately should have made his own choices. It's shocking to witness how a mother can devastate her son's life. Dontonio, at just 19, had his entire future ahead of him. But one wrong choice shattered everything. The impact of his absence on his sons growing up without a father figure adds to the tragedy. How manipulative and malevolent can a mother be to manipulate her own son into crime and then exploit him like a pawn? If Dontonio had made a different choice and severed ties with his mother early on, could this tragedy have been prevented? How do family dynamics and addiction push someone to commit such a crime? Let us know in the comments section below how you feel about this compelling story. If there are any cases you'd like us to cover, leave us a suggestion down below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.